A photo book is the best way to present in a very accessible form a whole body of work.
Photographs are at best when they have a life of their own and become a work of art within a book that allows an audience member or an individual to really experience the intimacy of the work.
The photo book is a distinct, important part of the history of photography, as well as its future.
With the best books, the photographers have this kind of way of expressing themselves and getting their point across better than an exhibition.
If you want your work to last forever, photo book is the answer.
I can't imagine the world of the photo book without Aperture. It's been such an important force.
At Aperture, we really do believe that the photo book has been and continues to be an integral part of a photographer's practice. It's also often the way that people learn about a photographer's body of work and the way that we often learn about the world around us as well.
The photo book that impacted me most personally was the D.N. Arbus Aperture monograph.
One of the first Aperture publications that I read in terms of the hard copy was Mary Ellen Mark's book, Streetwise. And I was really moved behind that, you know, as I went into this store on 23rd Street, as I just thumbed through the book, and I'm seeing these young kids smoking cigarettes and out in the street. And it just marveled me, like, what's going on here?
Nan Goldin's Ballad of Sexual Dependency, I think, is one of the key books of our period, and certainly one of the Aperture books that made the biggest impression on me.
Aperture, in addition to having long been a publisher of photo books, has also played a central role in sharing and documenting and exploring that history, including things like the publication of the Photo Book Review and monographs that have been done on Dutch, Latin American, Japanese, and most recently, the Chinese photo book.
As important as our history is, I think it's also a really important part of our mission, and for me personally, to publish younger artists in their first books.
Being published by Aperture Foundation was a very key moment, you know, in my life and in my career as an artist and as a photographer.
To be recognized by Aperture is such an honor, and to be published by Aperture is a lifetime chance.
Aperture brings a rigor, a commitment, and an enormous respect for the artist and the artist's mission.
Well, Aperture's dealt with some of the best photographers. It's also dealt with some of the best writers, some of the best designers.
With all of the activities and publications that we do and put out into the world, I think the core of that and what really makes it happen is our community, and we could not do it without our community.
So the most important reason to care about and to support photo books and their creation is, like any other work of art, because you love the object.
Photography books have been crucially important to the art world, to our world, to photographers.
There are more books, photo books, produced now than ever before, and if it is a sea of books, then you need at least a couple of lighthouses to guide the way, and Aperture is definitely one of those.
I'm always looking at and admiring the next photographer or the next project out of Aperture that really pushes the envelope of design and protecting the legacy and history of bookmaking.
And I'm especially glad that Aperture continues to find people whose work excites me and who I think understand the book.
They're making more than just a book. It's artwork. It's a work of art.
What Aperture is doing in its publishing is so important to the photography community, to the art community, and to photographers. For Aperture to maintain its standards, support is required.
Aperture.